Canada is proud to be a partner country at Vibrant Gujarat for the second time in a row. Our participation in Vibrant Gujarat as a country is a testament to the growing success this event has seen over the years and the strengthening relationship between Canada and India and, of course, Canada and Gujarat. It's always difficult to have two Canadians on the dais because sometimes they steal each other's thunder. So, Patrick, I'm going to have to rejig a little bit. But I know the Chief Minister in particular is focused on results. And Patrick mentioned that the first time here we had 3 people. And today we have 3 levels of government represented from Canada. We have 2 members of parliament, a senator. We have 5 provinces here. We have 2 mayors of very dynamic cities. And altogether we have 200 people. So, Chief Minister, if you indulge me, I'd just like to ask the Canadians to stand up just so they can be recognized for the fact that they've understood how important Gujarat is to Canada and to India. And for people who are looking for great business partners, you have a crowd of them here who can do an excellent job. So thank you very much. And I know, Chief Minister, we're all very, very proud to see the Canadian flag as a partner country here in Gujarat. We just recently had the visit of our Prime Minister to India. He was here for 6 days. It's the longest he's been outside the country in any one country, and it's probably the longest any Prime Minister has been in a country in record. And while he was here, he did what the government should do. He was working diligently to create an environment which will facilitate the movement of people, but more importantly, the movement of trade and the creation of wealth between our 2 countries. We will be starting our 7th round of the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Arrangement negotiations. We've signed a social security agreement. We hope to conclude soon a foreign investment protection agreement. But most importantly, and not a lot of people understand this, while the Prime Minister was here, we concluded the administrative arrangements for our nuclear cooperation agreement. Why is that significant? Well, basically, it's put behind us 35 years of history between our 2 countries, and now we're just looking forward in terms of being able to build the relationship in that particular part of the energy sector. So when you take a look at what we are trying to do here in India, we have to have a strategic approach, much like the Chief Minister has taken with Gujarat. And for Canada, we see 4 areas of strategic importance for us with India. The first area, of course, is food security. And Canada already plays a very significant role in terms of India's food security. 24% of those Indians here today, when you eat your dal, 24% of the lentils come from Canada, the province of Saskatchewan in particular. When you talk about companies like McCain's, who are a large investor in the state of Gujarat, not only is McCain's creating wealth in the context of their own business, but what they're doing is creating opportunity for Gujaratis. It took them 7 years to develop their strategy for India. And when they started, they had to realize they had to change the business model for what they do here, in particular, how they go about doing their farming. Today, they employ over 12,000 Gujarati farmers and have increased the wealth. And if you ever go to their factory and take a look at the pictures when they started of the farmers who were tilling the fields and take a look at them today, you can see, and just in terms of how they dress, the economic development that they've been able to achieve. The second area of importance is education, and how Canadian educational institutions, and there are a number of them here as part of Vibrant Gujarat, can participate in elevating the levels of education here in specific and key sectors, but also providing opportunities for young, dynamic Gujaratis to come to Canada to learn. The third area is energy security. Now, Canada has been in India for over 60 years in the hydroelectric sector, and we have very strong Canadian companies operating here. And now, of course, nuclear, we're back in the game in India, but more importantly, in some ways, we'll be able to work with India in terms of providing oil and gas. Now, Canada is sitting on the 2nd largest reserves of oil in the world, and we have more gas than we as a country of 33 million people, need. And we've been working with the Gujarati government in developing ways that we can bring that gas from the west and the east coast of Canada to India. As Patrick said, Canada is a great investment destination, and we're very fortunate to have a number of the companies that are here on the dais as investors in our country. And I think they've understood that what the Economic Intelligence Unit says is that in the next 3 years, Canada will be the #1 country of the G7 in terms of managing its economic development. And I think that says a lot. But a lot of this is due, and the reason we have such a large delegation is to the dynamic diaspora that we have in Canada. We have 1.2 million Canadians of Indian origin. 30% of those come from Gujarat. And I doubt there's many hotels that you would go into in Canada that wouldn't be owned by a Gujarati. And they have done such a wonderful job, not just in terms of being such successful entrepreneurs and business people, but they're engaged in the politics of our country, they're engaged in the communities, they're engaged in the educational institutions, they come back to Gujarat to invest, but they also come back to Gujarat with philanthropic approaches, which I think states a lot to what the diaspora is all about here in Gujarat, and I congratulate them for doing that. Chief Minister, I'd like to end by saying why I believe you are so successful, and that's because you've understood the importance of globalization. Just take a look at the people in this room and the countries that are represented. For India to engage, they have to engage globally, and you've created the environment for that to happen, and you should be congratulated for that. And we often talk about Gujarat, and we talk about infrastructure, and we talk about certainty of investment, and that's all very, very critical. But I've met the Chief Minister now a number of times. And what I always find the most important thing is he understands the importance of human resources. Because without human resources, without the people to drive the development, nothing will really happen. And that, I think, is critical. And again, Chief Minister, congratulations. So on behalf of all the Canadians here, thank you very much for allowing us to be a partner country, and thank you very much for being who you are in terms of developing the growth model for India. Thank you.